All right. I don't. Okay, there's some sounds. Okay, but okay, go afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another last slide session. But again, today we are going to showcase definitely a new or even a very session that you sellers probably like a lot, which is our Seller Ambassadors Day today. So today we have specially created this live stream, and unfortunately for today we are facing some issues on the Facebook site itself. Apologies for now. So I would recommend that you of course log on to your Seller Center, and of course if you want to ask or tell your existing sellers who needs to come to this Seller Center page, they should only be seeing on the Seller Center because our Facebook is actually having some issues right now. So please encourage your sellers to come onto this page itself. So today what we are going to do is we are going to definitely show you this again Seller Ambassadors. Actually we specially invited 6 of them who we are going to share with you some of the knowledge that help you in preparing for your D11 upcoming D11 sales. So there will be 6 presenters in total for today. That goes, of course, we especially invite them. I think it's in the posters itself. All right. So and of course 6 presenters today, and we will just talk about who are our Seller Ambassadors. For starters, again, Seller Ambassadors are people who are sellers who actually who help us in various segments of your e-commerce journey itself. They can be helping on you on some online community pages, or some of them may be actually helping you during the offline space itself. If you've seen them sometimes, so we are having them here to actually ask them to help you with your daily needs. Again, we do not actually incentivize them to be an ambassador. It's more of willing items that they do to help you guys sellers to be able to grow as a seller as a whole. But of course, if you do want to know like these sellers of you want to join them, or of course definitely you can want to talk to them. All of them have a QR code, but of course the 6 sellers that they will be sharing, they will be, of course you can join the WhatsApp group after their presentation itself. So today is about a day for them. It's about showing what they can share to you as a seller to help you to really make sure that on D11 you are able to have more information or education to help you to grow on D11 itself. So I think one of the key things I want to do is really to just we actually talk about one recent trip that we have with our Seller Ambassadors, some of them in by having the Lazada Digitalpreneur program help in Hangzhou. And this is the program that we have been delaying for the last 2 years, only because we wanted to have a space where Seller Ambassadors from various countries like Indonesia. So this time around we went with Malaysia and Vietnam, so they have opportunity to actually network with these sellers and to actually share their experiences over there. But of course, with this whole thing that's happening with them, they are of course being able to explore some of the differences, but the economy in China versus the economy right now in Singapore itself. So they will gain some new insights from Alibaba itself, as well as some trainers. So I'll share you one of the videos that will of course definitely allow you to see what is the overview of what happened during this trip itself. I think we can just let the video tell you the story instead. Alright, so again, I hope you enjoyed the video. So this is a trip that we actually organized for our Seller ambassadors, but of course, they will definitely, some of them will be here to of course share their experiences that they have and some of the strategies that they learn from the trip itself. But of course, what is really more important is this kind of trip allows them to of course see more and of course network with other Seller ambassadors. So if you're thinking that hey, Seller ambassadors program is only in Singapore, no, it's not. It is actually a 6-country thing. So you can see we have a similar program running in Philippines, running in Malaysia, running in Vietnam, running in Thailand. Or they have their own Seller ambassadors team itself. So we are, of course, again, most of these are doing out of their free will. There is no contractual obligations as well as that an incentive that we do give them to help them to grow on this surface itself. So of course, with this, we want you to of course definitely follow us on our social media, which is the following social media that you see over on this page itself. Okay, so just keep up to date some interesting content, as well as keep up to date with some of the more interesting topics that we have on this Facebook page itself, or even on TikTok itself, or even on Instagram. We do frequently update the content over there to show you some of the newest and findings that you can find in a Lazada Unity space. But of course, if you do not like social, you can always follow our Telegram as well as follow our Lazada360.sg blog page to actually follow up on all the different contents or policies and news and communication that we have on this channel itself to help you to grow. Alright, so again, all this information is created for you as well, so see which channels that you want to join us on, and of course keep you up to date with what's happening on Lazada itself as a whole. So I'll quickly now invite actually Eric. Eric is from the liquor store. Alright, so Eric will actually present on his topic today. So we'll pass it to Eric to present on his topic, which is product assortments, benefit and challenges. And of course, there'll be a quick quiz that will be happening at the end of the session itself. I'll welcome Eric. So I'll let Eric do his open introduction, and then he will of course speak to the audience itself. Can you introduce yourself first? Then I'll pass it on.
Thank you, Wei Lun. Hi everyone. Okay, my name is Eric. I'm from the liquor shop. So I have been selling in Lazada for more than 7 years, and I'm one of the earliest batch of seller ambassador. Like what Wei Lun mentioned, it's actually a voluntary work whereby we are not contracted. Which we are here to help the community with any problems that you guys face. You know, we each of us has a WhatsApp group whereby we actually will help you all with some of the problems that you face, right? So technical problems, what we can do is that we will always help you feedback to Lazada team. As for the strategies and ideas sharings, that's whereby it's we welcome everyone to contribute in our WhatsApp group.
Of course, like all the feedbacks that you all give us, we will definitely see to pass it on to the correct people who is taking care of that specific area. Then we'll try to improve that area. Again, changes takes time. Okay, I know certain things like e-commerce has gone a very long industry. Like in long time, a lot of things you feedback in the past. Right now, some already is developed and launched in the market. But changes do take time. It's not like you feedback today, tomorrow the change can be done. All right. Without further ado, I just pass to Eric to do his presentation.
Thank you. Okay, so today I'm going to share with you one of my favorite topic, which is product assortment. Why am I going to share this topic is because e-commerce is so saturated, so competitive. Everyone loves to buy promotional prices at the big discount prices, but we as a seller, we are here not to do charity work. We are here to make some money, right? So pricing, yes, competitive pricing is very important, where you need to actually sell at the prices that consumers are willing to buy, but at the same time, we also want to make money, right? So that's why I would like to share on this thing called product assortment, whereby we all are actually looking forward to sell products in a different way that can actually be sustainable in the long term for all of us. Okay, so so this is a brief summary of my shop, the liquor shop, and I have been with Lazada for 7+ years. And as you can see, we are actually focusing on alcoholic beverages. At one glance, you probably can see we are emphasizing on one thing, which is product assortment, which is a big range. So over here, this is the homepage where you go into my Lazada shop. You'll be able to see, which is actually by category, right? So today agenda, I'm going to talk about 4 things. One, introduction of product assortment. What is product assortment? How product assortment is useful to us. Second thing, the benefits that it actually brings into having a good, efficient product assortment. The third thing will be the challenges of product assortment. Of course, not everything is always will benefit you. You definitely have to invest some money, as you will face challenges. And lastly will be strategies to overcome some of the challenges, or how you actually optimize your product assortment, right? So okay, first of all, the definitions. What is the definition of product assortment? It means product range, product selection that you're actually offering to customers. We would love to actually offer things that customers are looking at, right? So look up. Okay, there are a few ways you can actually define product assortment in the various ways, such as categories. In this slide, you will probably see I actually have sorted out as a category in terms of different categories of alcoholic products, right? Such as whiskey. Even whiskey, we have a subcategory as a Japanese whiskey, rum, vodka, tequila, as well as some of the up and coming one like the gin, the cognac, the wines. Everyone's favorite, the beer, as the non-alcoholic beverages as well. Right, so definitions is actually very wide for a good product assortment, whereby you can actually have a good categories, a wide range of brands, as you can see, as well as flavors, different sizes, variations, so on and so forth. So this is a short example of a category, which is gin. I'm sure most of you all are gin lover. Okay, so on the first line, you probably see most of the most popular brands, which we all must have tried before, such as Roku, Bombay, Hendrix, Golden Gin, Tanqueray, right? So come to the first line, you will probably know that they are of all different brands, right? Which is also it means a product assortment. Then you come to the second row, you probably start to see brands that are newer, lesser known, or as well as some flavors. For example, if you look at Four Pillar Gin, which is up and coming, Kinobi, which is a very young, trendy, and a new Japanese gin. Then you look at the Hendrix. They have come out to engage younger audiences with more variety, right? They can be seasonal to make people try it, and then after that they will probably change. Then look at Gordon. They are actually also coming out with different flavors. Same for Tanqueray. Then we have a more risky one, which will be the newer brands. Newer than the new brands, which are where my expertise is, where I will actually try new products which are totally new in Singapore, and we will actually try to bring into Singapore to let the audiences actually experience more than just the common and the new brands, right? So okay, So this is a very generic definitions of product assortment, which means categories, brands, flavors, sizes, different variants, or even different packaging. Yeah, they are all linking back to product assortment. Okay, so what is so important about product assortment, as I probably shared a little bit earlier, which is we are all in the business, right? So we want to make sure that we are profitable, we are sustainable. Okay, so having a good product assortment, you can actually have a different variety for the customers to purchase from, rather than focusing more on the price sensitive, or lesser lower margin product, which probably will be a tough fight, whereby most of the competitors will be selling the same product. Yeah, so that is actually a differentiations with your competitors, right? So that's a very important. Okay, so moving to the benefits. Okay, so yeah, so just imagine if you have a wide variety of product. So what is the first thing that actually catches the consumer? Consumers, when they browse your store, okay, they are actually having a good shopping experience, right? They are actually able to see new products that they probably might not have tried before. So you can actually make your consumer happier. What if they are satisfied? That means they will probably be more loyal to you, and they'll probably support you and buy from you, which will also increase your sales, right? And of course, the most important thing that we would like to do is to differentiate yourself against all your competitor, which will give you a competitive advantage over your competitors, whereby you probably have the products that they don't have, which will actually make your store stand out. Okay, and also about understanding the consumer, whereby we will do we have the product that the consumer actually wants? So we you need to actually segmentize your consumer to understand, okay, what consumer target or consumer segment that are you going to target? Is it the younger crowd? Like for us is definitely above 18, so 18 to 21, or would you want to go for you need to actually segregate the target audience, and then by having different price range, you are actually also benefiting and making your customer happy, and to be able to see what they are actually finding in your store, right? Indirectly, of course, the increased sales is very important for us, and then differentiate ourselves from the competitive advantage from your competitor. Okay, so next, with so many benefits, right? There are of course challenges. You will be asking me, yeah, we will love to, but we always have a limited resources. We always have a limited space, right? That's whereby product assortment will actually be a good big challenges for us. So yeah, so definitely inventory management is a very important thing. You will want to actually ensure that you do not over order, overstock, or you will not go into out of stock situations, which is a very big headache. So understanding the quantity, and trying to actually order in how many quantity, especially for new product, is a very tricky decisions, which I often have faced these decisions, because if you order a lot, what if the product doesn't move, doesn't sell? You'll be stock up, and then you will lose money. But however, if the product actually sell well, and you do not have the stock, you will lose the chance to make money, right? So this inventory management is actually a very tricky one, whereby later on I will probably share a bit on how to actually overcome this by using some data, using some market surveys to understand the needs, to actually plan your inventory. Okay, of course, that's more about having in sufficient quantity, but of course, that's on the money side, whereby you definitely need to have enough investments or money to actually stand by enough stock. Okay, of course, the second thing, we all know Singapore is a very small place, which is a small space constraint, which means that you definitely need to have a good logistic partner, a warehouse partner, to help you store all your products. So space constraint is actually also very important because like money, it is always a limited resource. Space is also a limited resource, whereby if the product sits in the warehouse for too long, it means it's actually you are paying for the extra rental, extra costs going to add up to your to your operation costs, yeah, which will actually makes you, rather than earn money, you will actually lose money. Okay, then the third thing, the challenges will be seasonal and the trend based. How do you actually catch the seasonal trend? For example, for us, we always have a season for alcohol because people celebrate, right? We drink more when we celebrate. So like now, moving forward to the Q4, we definitely will see a lot more celebrations with end of the year Christmas party coming up, New Year party coming up. So how do we actually, based on the seasonal as well as the trend, to actually forecast your product assortment, bring in new products, bring in enough stock? Yeah, that is going to be a very big challenge for you, for me, and for everyone, right? So yeah, the last point is supplier relationship. With a wide assortment, how are you going to handle multiple vendor, multiple suppliers? You will need to actually have a very good, strong relationship with suppliers, which is actually a very challenging thing, which you need to actually work on and spend a lot of time, especially planning promotions with your supplier. What quantity you want to take, and then what kind of promotions are you going to run to run down your stock, your purchases, or yeah. So supplier relationship can be a very challenging task if you have not actually handled multiple suppliers or even so many suppliers. Okay, so then with the benefits that I have spoken, of course, and with the challenges of the product assortment that we are facing, okay, I would like to share a bit more on how to actually overcome or optimize product assortment. So first point is data analysis, right? I don't know how many of you actually has a inventory system whereby you actually has a live data, which means what SKU, what product, what quantity do you have right now, and what is the movement speed of this product across various months, be it a seasonal month or non-seasonal month or campaign months. So data analysis is actually very important. All right, so we don't actually blindly actually order something, or try something. You definitely need to have good data to support you, so that you actually lower down your risk of having a lot of stock. Okay. Second point, market research, which is very important. Whereby I usually do a lot of market research. As alcoholic beverages, what I usually do especially on the new product, is I will actually personally try all the products before I decided whether should I actually bring in the new assortment, right? So after first thing first is that I must like the product first. So I sell products that I like. Then once I like the product, I'll actually bring the sample to my friends, to actually do some market research, to ask around your family members, your friends, whether how do they find the product, will they actually buy, and then ask them what kind of price point would they pay for if they were to purchase the new product. That's a market research that you probably can do on your own. Of course, if you have more money, you can actually buy some market research whereby they will actually, you pay and buy all the reports, right? Okay. Then third point, inventory management software. I strongly suggest if you want to go for a wide assortment, you definitely need a good inventory management software, whereby you will definitely need your live stock value, how much quantity you are holding, how much money is stuck in your stock, what kind of movement speed. It will tell you all about your inventory, right? Okay. Then the fourth point, seasonal and promotion. This is something that is correlated to supplier collaboration as well. So like the season is Christmas season is coming up. The usual trend that we always face, the first thing is champagne celebrations, right? So champagnes will definitely run out if I do not plan the stock in advance. If I only start to buy in December, I'm quite sure whether there's enough stock, or if not, then the the prices may have actually gone up, you know. So at the moment, for the seasonal stock, usually we'll actually prepare earlier, like now, just 10:10 was over, right? Even before 11:11, I've already started stocking up on seasonal stock, okay, as well. Yeah, then as well as promotional, you can actually start to plan promotional. Once you actually plan your stock, you need to make sure that you run some promotion to actually run down your stock. If not, you are actually going to sit on your stock for a long period of time. Okay. Then the last point, which is very important, okay, how you can actually minimize or optimize your assortment is that can you negotiate with your supplier, collaborate with your supplier, whether can you buy in stages rather than buy in one shot, you know, to hold a lot, or yeah, then with the collaboration, you are ensured that you will not go out of stock when the festive season is around, right? So yeah, the 5 strategy, of course, these are not all the strategies. You know, usually I also conduct training, so the more detailed ones will be shared in the training sessions, yeah, which will be a few hours. Okay, so that's coming to the end of my presentation, right? We have a quiz time now.
Yep. Again, well, thank you, Eric, for sharing. So again, it's a very quick sharing. Again, all presentations we try to keep it around 15 minutes. Again, reason is because we know that if it goes a bit longer, sometimes now this attention span a bit shorter. So we'll try to keep our content short and precise for everyone to learn and to follow up and actually to know about. So I think Eric focused on some very key one, but I think it's more about practice makes perfect lah. So most of the thing from product assortment standpoint, you on theory you may say ABC, but at the end of the day you need to really try. Yes, try. You may make mistakes a few times, but at the end of the day you still need to try, especially assortments. There's really so many. We always talk about assortment is always, and end of the day no one really can predict what we can sell next 3 months. But some of the months are a bit more stable. Like I would say like next 3 months are a bit more stable. Like gifting season.
It's the best period of time.
And it's just probably period to predict what will sell, what will not sell. Like if you go towards months like, so I always feel that months like maybe from April to August a bit unpredictable. It depends on what the climate is, the situation is, or like the geographical is like during, I know like in August, September, people know start to for some apparel was start selling, health product was start selling. So people become a bit more health conscious on August and September. After toward the end, people appear a bit more like gifting and stuff. So that's where you talk about seasonality, your trend, everything else. Okay, so we'll go quickly into our quiz. If there's any questions, of course, do feel free to share with us. So one of the most important thing, of course, is to believe that our Facebook is back online. So of course, if you can see both on our Facebook as well as on our Lazada University, both live at the same time. Okay, so we're giving up 2 questions, one from Facebook, one for Lazada for the quiz itself. So we were giving one winner, and then from there the winners will be announced at the end of the live stream session because we need some time to collate. And each question will give around 30 seconds to answer. 30 seconds to answer the question itself. All right, and then and of course Eric will talk about the answer. Okay, so I think we'll start with which one is not a benefit. So we'll draw 2 winners from one from Facebook, the other from Lazada University page itself. Okay, which is not a benefit. Benefit as more sales, more traffic, less competitors, investment. I think as in a benefit of product assortment, right?
Yes,
the planning for which is not a benefit of planning ahead for your product assortment itself. Per se, okay, more you plan better. Which one is not? Answer. So I think we can quickly announce the question in the next 5 seconds. So that
okay.
So what is the answer for this?
Okay, it's actually very simple. When you have a wide product assortment, you tend to create more traffic. So A is actually a benefit, and it will also create more sales. So B is also a benefit. And of course, with a wider assortment, you have lesser competitor, which is also another benefit. But with a wider assortment, you definitely hold more inventory.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, so less inventory is not correct. Yeah, so the answer is D.
All right, okay. So D is the correct answer. So very importantly, I think Eric mentioned a good point is, like of course, bigger assortments have its own benefits, but also you need to know your aging of your own inventory at the end of the day. Like of course, certain things, like of course, Eric is selling alcohol. Certain alcohols as it goes longer, the price goes up higher. Okay, but not, it doesn't work with everything that you sell. So sometimes you keep longer, the pricing may not be as good. The pricing may not be as good. So you need to think about what you can do with your products in various life cycles itself. But of course, we have longer life cycles. But they have trends, but they are longer life cycles. All right, so let's also if our team will select the winner for the back end itself. So if there's anyone who participate, and then we will select the winner and show it, and we'll share it at the end of the live stream itself. Okay, next question.
Question 2. Okay, which one is not a challenge for having product assortment?
Okay, if you have a product assortment which is not, if you have a very good product assortment or a very strong product assortment or big product assortment which is not actually a challenge, not a challenge, more money, more space, less work, and out of stock. Okay, which is not a challenge. Which is not a challenge for. So I think the answer should be quite obvious.
It's very obvious.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll give you all a few more seconds to actually key in your answers. Okay.
Okay, so 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, what's the answer?
Okay, so when you have a wide product assortment, one of the few challenges will be you need more money. Yeah.
Okay.
So more money is a challenge.
Okay.
As well as you need more space, it is also a challenge. And C, less work, which is okay. C is the answer because when you have a wider assortment, you definitely have to do more work.
Okay.
Yeah. Then D, out of stock. Yeah, out of stock situations or overstock situation is a challenge when you have a wide assortment. So the answer is C, less work, which is not correct.
Actually, of course, definitely you more assortment, you need more work to do it properly. You need to sort you cannot just dump everything on corner and find it. So you need to do like, of course, like if advanced is like barcoding, but I don't think you go to that level. Like you just need to sort it nicely so that you know how many. And what I think Eric mentioned that you need to have some form of warehouse managing system. And if you have a lot of assortments, then you have a lot of assortments stock, you need probably warehouse managing. So you need to know what goes in, what goes out on a daily basis, so you can track what happens on a monthly basis. So you can like plan ahead on what is your next stocks that will happen. Next stocks that you need to bring in for next the D11 sales itself. Okay, so if we talk about sellers like product assortment, it may be a bit too early, too late. Obviously, before it's too late because
very too late. Yeah.
Okay.
Double 11.
So for let's say for normally at January, February, March, let's plan ahead for that. What do you think products that will sell besides Chinese New Year goodie will sell in the next three in like January, February? What things do you think will sell besides Chinese New Year stuff?
Next 3 months?
Like
after Chinese New
yeah,
Year?
they're doing January, February, March.
Okay, so the safer one usually will be on the dry month. People usually drink more whiskey, more gin, and more beer, right? More generic. Yeah. So for Chinese New Year, we probably will probably see a lot of beer as well as cognac. Then for Christmas seasons, we see a lot more champagnes. So those are more seasonal trends. Yeah.
Like then is wine more evergreen?
Wine is considered evergreen. Yeah, everybody drink wine on regardless of occasions, be it wedding, be it, at home, or work. Yeah.
So it's more generic. So again, like of course you need to plan for a whole year, lah.
Yes.
It's not about just planning for 3 months. But of course, right now because we have e-commerce, we have social media, and all this stuff, people needs and wants tends to be a bit more faster. Like the behavior change very fast every 3 months. So you need to, also when you plan for assortment, you need to think ahead of your time and then what you need to bring ahead. So if you don't ask Eric anything, please feel free to scan this QR code and then join his WhatsApp group over there, and then he'll be glad to of course help you with any like concerns or questions that you might have with of course the topic that he talked today, or maybe like in some general other topics that you want to talk about with him itself. Because again, e-commerce right now is very different from 5 years ago when I came to Lazada. It's a very different space itself. So of course it's a very different space right now for you for you also who has been e-commerce for a long time, seeing the things grow. So I think just list one big difference. How big is it a difference from doing in the past and doing it now?
How big difference? There's only one thing constant, which is change. Change has been the constant thing throughout so many years. E-commerce is moving so fast every day. The trend is changing, the demand is changing, the customer behaviors are changing, everything is changing. So yeah, we all must be prepared to actually adopt new mechanisms, new strategies to make your business work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Once again, thank you, Eric, for presenting
Thank
this
you,
part.
William.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
So I'll just allow Eric to actually invite Eric off the screen itself. First, okay. And then next thing I will do is to actually invite Adrian. Okay. Adrian is actually is from White Magic Singapore, and then he will be actually presenting on pricing strategy and important. So I think the first one I talk about is product. Now we talk about is actually pricing strategy itself. Okay, so one more. So I invite Adrian on screen to actually introduce himself first, and then after that we'll then present topic. So I think Adrian, just quickly introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi everyone. So I'm Adrian from White Magic Singapore. So together with Eric, we are actually also the earlier batch of the Seller Ambassador as well as the Lazada Trainer Program. So I've been selling on Lazada for about 7 years. So,
Okay, so Adrian has been also a very veteran, but I think to save time, let's move ahead of time and then let Adrian present his topic on the pricing strategy itself.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So just to run through a quick introduction. So we actually started the White Magic Singapore brand about 7 to 8 years ago in Singapore. So that was where we started our journey with Lazada. So my experience as a Lazada seller is about 7 years. But prior to that, I was actually in the fulfillment business for e-commerce. So we are actually running a fulfillment house, helping sellers to actually fulfill their e-commerce order. So that was my initial core experience. So my e-commerce journey kind of started the other way, from back-end operation, then we go into the front end as a seller. So progressively, we also do enabling service for some of the major brands on last mall. Then, as mentioned, we are part of the pioneer batch of Lazada Seller Ambassador, and we are also the Lazada trainer in the Lazada Academy. Okay, so today's topic we are talking about is actually on pricing. So I choose this topic because it's kind of it's very easy to relate for us, because when we first introduced our brand, the pricing is actually a main concern, because we are trying to bring in a new brand, create a new brand and some new products in Singapore market. So that time we are thinking of how to choose the right pricing, how to price it correctly so that customer can accept, and then we are also making margin from there. So for today's agenda, we'll look at 3 portions. So the first one, we'll look at pricing components. Then the second one, we'll look at the types of pricing method. Then lastly, we'll go into the pricing strategy, which is the main topic for today. So pricing components. So what are pricing components? What are the components that make up our selling price? A lot of time we will think that it's very simple. Basically, it's just our product cost. Then we add on how much margin we want to make from there, and then that's our selling price. So in a nutshell, that is quite true. But actually, there are still much more in-depth components that often we will neglect. So just to run through. So the most obvious thing, of course, is our product cost, the cost of buying our product. Then there will be more obvious components like platform fee, delivery fee, and margin that we want to make. So the portion that usually don't get so obvious is actually things like your promotion cost. Things like when during campaign time you need to run discount, run promo, and do your promo mechanics. Then, of course, there's also a marketing cost involved. Marketing costs can be in-platform, like sponsored display, seller affiliate, or even external costs like your own social media ads, so on and so forth. So these are costs that usually sometimes sellers don't factor this in during their initial pricing stage, because it's not very obvious. Then the next portion, right, the operating costs, this is actually the main one that often people will neglect. So throughout my time as a seller, whenever I talk to seller, especially new seller, when they start doing their e-commerce business, a lot of time they are operating by themselves. So you do your listing by yourself, you do your own pick and pack, you operate maybe from your house, using your home as a warehouse. So during that time, you will find that your margin might look very good because you just need to take care of your product costs, your platform fee, your delivery fee, and then the rest is your margin. So what you don't see is the operating costs at the back end. So usually they will run into a problem is when they start to grow, and when they come to a stage where their size of their business outgrown their home-based operation, then they need to start operate out of their home. That's where they will suddenly see an increase in this operating cost, be it in terms of renting a warehouse or hiring people to do your operation. So this operating cost portion, we find that it's a component that often people will neglect to see. So just want to emphasize this for new sellers. When you are doing your pricing and factoring in all your costs, do remember to take note of these few things to keep in mind when you're doing your pricing. So next we will look at the types of pricing method. What are the pricing method that we can use when we are planning our pricing. So we categorize them under two types. So the first one will be the most obvious and simple one, which is our cost plus profit. So basically the cost of our products plus all the components that I mentioned in the previous slide, and then from there we add in a profit of how much margin we want to make. So this is a more direct method that is securing a more stable margin. But on the other hand, it doesn't take into consideration, whether the customer will find this pricing suitable. So that's where on the other method is based on customers' perceived value. So perceived value, is like how much is the product worth in the customer mind. So similar product might have different value to the customer because of there may be different factors affecting the perceived value of that. So what are the factors that actually will affect a customer's perceived value? So they can be in various forms, things like quality, durability, or even safety, or even aesthetic aspect, because different people actually look for different things in the product. So you need to understand the product that you are pushing, what is the thing that the customer is looking for in your product. So if you can satisfy that factor that the customer is looking for, then you'll be able to command a higher perceived value for the customer. So just to give some example, so this is one of our product. We call it a washing up pad. So basically it's a dishwashing sponge, but 7 years ago when we first bring it into the market, the difference between our sponge and the sponge during that time, most of the sponge are still traditional the foam type sponge. So what we do is we introduce this washing up sponge that is made from microfiber. So the difference is that it is using microfiber rather than foam type. So it's actually made of a higher quality, but it is also more costly for the customer. So that's how we actually position our pricing here. So we know that this thing is supposed to be more expensive, but we let our customers know, why is it more expensive. And then after trying out and based on the review that we see, people are actually willing to accept this pricing because there are factors that they look for, things like quality. Some customers even say that they are no longer afraid of unintentionally soloing those normal sponge pads. Then there are also people who love it for the color. That's why we have 13 different colors for one washing up sponge. Then there are also people who look for factors like eco-friendly. So these are all actually factors that can actually increase your product's perceived value. So you need to understand what is the benefit that you are giving to your customer, what is this value, and then how much the customer is willing to pay for this value. Okay, so next we'll look at the pricing strategy portion. What kind of pricing strategy we can actually adopt when we are doing our pricing. So I split this into three types of strategy. So the first one is actually the penetration pricing, then followed by competitive pricing, and then the third one is premium pricing. So you can look at these three strategies as three different tiers of pricing. It can be for your whole store as a whole, or it can be referring to different products in your product assortment. So let's look at the first one. So for penetration pricing, this is actually more useful, you know, especially for new companies trying to gain foothold in a highly competitive market. So basically, you are entering it at a lower price to try to gain visibility. So a lot of people may ask, you know, this is very straightforward. Whoever price it lower, whoever, you know, try to be more competitive actually will have this advantage. But why do we want to sacrifice our margin for this, you know? So we have to understand that we have different products in our assortment. Each product may serve different purpose. Some product purpose might be to drive traffic, some is more for margin. So for this kind of penetration pricing product, you may have low or no margin in the initial stage, but they actually give you the opportunity to upsell your other product, you know, through promotional mechanics like flexi combos or vouchers. So a lot of time you realize for vouchers, sometimes when you buy something, you are trying to buy a product, maybe cost $9.90, then you realize that there's a voucher that, you know, minimum spend $10. So you feel that just 10 cents more, you can get further discount. So this is what I mean by using a penetration pricing product to actually try to lead to the opportunity to upsell other product. So don't look at your pricing, you know, based on just one standard product alone. Look at the benefit that it may drive from there. So this is for the penetration pricing portion. So next we look at is competitive pricing. So this is basically, you know, setting your price based on your competitors' pricing range in the market. So it is very useful for common products, you know, that most people are selling. So what happened is we actually try to price our product, you know, based on what the competitors are pricing in the market. So it is actually a more simple process and lower risk. So the thing that we want to highlight here is when we say competitive pricing, we may not just compete by the, you know, dollar and cents alone. You can actually compete through increasing your perceived value through things like free gift, free shopping, free shipping, or customer service. So for free gift, it's actually a very effective method. We find that because the customer will feel that, you know, for a $2 difference in pricing, they are actually getting something that is worth maybe $5 or more. So they will find that, you know, the absolute price difference may not actually be as attractive as a free gift that actually give a better value. So this is how some sellers actually make use of this mentality to actually increase their perceived value and increase their competitiveness. So they are competitive in that sense, not just, you know, by pricing alone. So this is what competitive pricing is about. So the third one is actually talking about premium pricing. So for premium pricing, as the topic suggests, you know, it is especially setting a price higher due to a competitive advantage that you might have. So one of the example that I have here is this is one of our products also. So we call this an eraser sponge. So basically it's actually a white color melamine sponge that you may also see out in the market, like places like Daiso and things like that. So what main difference that we bring about is the quality that we actually produce is actually much better. So that's why it's usually in our listing we will highlight what is the difference between our sponge and others in the market. So when customer, after they try it, they actually find that it is actually worth it. So, you know, we actually price it higher and we let customer know why this is priced at a higher price point. So there is a reason for us to do that, and we try to always keep that kind of premium pricing so that people know that they are actually paying for a premium, and if they perceive that the value is worth it, they'll be willing to pay for it. So this is kind of a very high yield pricing strategy that you can actually use. So all these three strategies, right, we can actually use them in a mix, in an assortment of products that you have. So that's why it's important to understand what are the roles that each of your products play in your assortment. So just a quick summary. So in terms of pricing, the main thing is to take note how we come up with our pricing is to understand what is your customer's perceived value for your product and what is your cost. So in between that portion will be the range that, you know, is suitable to set your pricing. So in order to maximize your margin, there's two factors that we have to look at. One is either to try to increase your customer's perceived value, or the other one is to actually lower your costs. So just a few things to summarize up. So, understand the strategic nature of your product range. So you have a lot of product. Not all your products may be, purpose to drive margin. Some of them can be to drive traffic. Some of them can be to drive profit. So you have to understand what are the different purpose that your product actually serve. And then most importantly, you need to know what you're providing to your customer, what you're giving to your customers in your product. So if you take note of these few areas, then you will have a better understanding of how to find a suitable pricing for your product. Okay.
All right. Once again, of course, thank you, Adrian. Thank you, Adrian, for actually sharing on the pricing strategy yourself. Again, just short training, short information so that you can use the information to help you to improve on your selling journey. So the first one, Eric talked about product. Now we talk about pricing itself. So let's just hit quickly into the quiz itself. So once again, two winners per quiz. One from Facebook, the other will be from the Lazada University page itself. I think let's go for the first question itself.
Okay.
Okay. So question one. You're pretty sure the answer already. Back. Oh, we're back. Okay, okay, best for four. Okay, I'll just press it easier. Okay, so name three. I think it's just some people who are fast enough you see the answer. But again, it's 3 questions. So name any 3 component of the pricing component. And I think he went talk about a lot of stuff. I think he named any 3 of them.
Yeah.
Right. Your one of the key things is, of course, I think one of them was perceived value. Very important. And there are of course other things that you can name any 3 I think you probably flash the answer. You can know what's the answer down there, and then you can actually just answer right for it's free $10 for one from Facebook, the other one from the Lazada University page. Again, we will actually announce the winner at the end of the quiz at the end of the slide stream itself, so it allows the time to actually consolidate the winners itself. Okay, so again, let's show what's the answer.
Okay, yeah. So there's actually quite a few factors that we mentioned just now. So they range from your product cost, platform fee, delivery fee, your margin, the promotion cost, marketing cost, and operating cost. So any 3 of these will do.
So you name any 3, you get first. Your name and our team will select the winner. Any 3 of these. Now that again, also pricing your item is a skill so you don't randomly price because you see how other people are pricing So you do your own calculation and make sure the whole everything makes sense as a whole. Else it won't make sense at all. All right, next question. What are the 3 types of pricing strategies? These are more specific. Okay, I think there is.
There's only a standard 3 answer.
Yeah, the standard. You can name the standard few but of course there are a lot more I think Adrian presented like 3.
Yeah, correct. What we show is just 3 of them, but there's actually
if you go
much
read
more.
up, there's really a lot of them.
Yeah.
There's more than just these 3, but there's a lot of weird, different kind of pricing strategy. But in e-commerce, generically, they only manage with this, play around with these 3 different strategies. But of course, the 3 strategies is always quite consistent. Even market changes, the pricing strategy these 3 strategies will always remain quite predominantly. All right, so I think let's give you 5 seconds for the answers for the answers to appear. All right, which is 5, 4. Oh, answer press. Okay. So next is of course the penetration pricing. This one. Second is comparative pricing. Last one is of course premium pricing. Okay. There is of course a lot of different forms of pricing that you can use, but basically there's this 3 itself. But of course, I feel that pricing strategy is something that you should adopt along with your life cycle, your product life cycle of your product. That means if your product is new versus when your product is maybe
more
6 months in the
mature.
market or more mature, your pricing strategy should move along the line.
Yeah, definitely.
You cannot just say, I start with one pricing, even 6 months later, my pricing still using the actual pricing itself.
Yeah, correct.
So, okay, so let me see if anyone asks me anything. Okay, so we have come to the end of Adrian's presentation. So if you're interested to talk out to Adrian about pricing strategy or any other questions that you want to ask him regarding his journey as being a seller, please do join this White Magic WhatsApp group, and then he will be glad to actually answer any questions, some of the questions that you are asking or some of the things, because he's very experienced in e-commerce, and e-commerce e-commerce. He's around 7 years in e-commerce, and
Yep.
he has probably some insights to share or experience to share with you. But of course, if you have daily problems, you can still always come to Facebook page lah. But of course, we only can help you if you have a ticket to allow you to find out your reasons. I know because sometimes you have problems, but of course the problem may not be. We don't have the background of your problem because you give us an overview. Some numbers you also don't understand the problem, so we need. If you file a ticket and then explain your problems from there, we will probably spend some time to investigate the issue, which makes more sense on the long term itself. Okay, Adrian, just before I let you off the scene, so basically, what kind of, if you are a new seller, what kind of pricing strategy would you use for the upcoming year-end campaigns?
Okay, I think during year-end campaign, especially the upcoming 11/11, is definitely going to be very competitive. So depending on the kind of products that the seller is actually selling. So if you are selling a more generic, more generic product that is easily available in the market, your price point definitely is a main concern. But it doesn't have to be the lowest, but it's a matter of how you can actually make use of other promotional mechanics to tag along and give a better value to your product, so that customer actually will be more keen to purchase rather than just looking at the lowest price available.
So there's of course different strategies. But I think end of the day you need to know what objective you want to run for D11. Because especially you're a new seller, some people say, you cannot, if you're a small seller, you cannot depend on your first year-end sale to make a lot of money. I probably think that you probably use your year-end sale to just
it can be to drive awareness
and drive reviews and that stuff. So you should spend a bit of time on that instead of trying to think about sales first. Because growing e-commerce is not as fast as previously. You can just grow in 6 months. Now it takes a longer period to grow bigger.
It's not an easy journey. I mean, it's a long journey. So we have to be really patient and willing to commit and put in effort to this.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Adrian. I'll send you offline right now. So again, we'll move on to our next presenter, which is Philip. Philip will actually talk about I would say he's one of his stronger topics, which he's very passionate about, which is actually customer service. Okay, so he will always spend less time. Of course, he will spend time into explaining this topic. He's very passionate because most of the time he will talk about this. Is really he actually drives a lot of inspirational stories throughout this journey itself. So I think I'll pass it to Philip. Philip will introduce himself. First, I'll let him go on his slide. Philip, you can do a quick introduction for yourself.
Thank you, Aaron. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. I'm thrilled to be here with you today. Some of you know me, while others do not. So allow me to introduce myself briefly. Okay.
Let's go a slide. You can talk about his stories with you. Let's go.
Okay. Okay. So throughout my career, I had the privilege to working with MNC and SME. My expertise spans several domains, including the traditional import and export, business consultancy, and education. My journey into the realm of e-commerce started back in 2008 when I began buying and selling product on Taobao while working in China. Fast forward to 2016, I furthered my knowledge by taking CEO courses about e-commerce from Taobao University, Singapore. At the same time, same year, I take a rim to start shops on various platforms, including Lazada and others. In 2018, I was honored to become a Lazada sales ambassador. After that, in 1920, I was achieved the certification as a Lazada certified trainer in Singapore, allow me to sharing my knowledge and with others. So that's my actually e-commerce is not just a venture business. A business venture for me is a passion. So I always believe that the transformation power of e-commerce is not only for business, but also for individual. Those are looking for the opportunities in digital platforms. So I think today I'm coming here to hands-on business experiences. I hope this one can really give you some inspire you and give you some information then toward to the success. Today agenda will be including few areas. First of all is customer expectation. What kind of customer expectation that the customer are looking for? So we, from this side, we need secondly, how to build up the customer trust. Only when customer build up the trust on you, then they will click button to buy. And number 3 is the challenges during the Double 11. What kind of challenge that will be happen and expected and meet during the Double 11 in terms of the customer service. And then another one is Double 11 readiness in terms of the customer services. And lastly is post 11 follow-up and tips. We all know that Double 11 represents a very unique opportunity for sellers to maximize their sales within just single one day. In this single one day, it probably will bring you 1 month or even 3 months revenue compared to the regular day. So whoever understanding this customer expectation in advance and prepare themselves for the Double 11, then they will truly win the Double 11 games. So now let's see what are the customer expectations that we need to understand, and then we can meet up. From few areas we can see customer expectation always looking for competitive price, of course, and better quality, and of course the online shopping experiences. This is very important because they couldn't see your product, they couldn't see seller in front of you, and then if they don't have the shopping experience seamlessly, so they will create some untrust on you. And then online sales also depends on how quick your response to the customer inquiry, because customer cannot wait too long. If they wait too long, they might click to other page, so you just lost your orders. Some of the customers are looking for personalized service, which is our company most of the time we are focused on personalized service, because only a personalized service the customer feel they are feel home, they will buy. Of course, this overall is kind of trust. Well, if we know customer expectation, the customer expectation can make your company reputation. If you cannot meet their customer expectation, they might break your reputation. And that is very obviously. So whoever understands customer expectation, they can make a proper methodology to deal with it, then they will probably make your own company reputation. I will share some true story with you. In many years ago, there was shops in Siemens Square, and because it was many years ago, so there are very limited competitors. They have limited inventory and stocks, not too many SKU. So the prices are very good. So the owner, they actually have a very good business and orders. But however, after 10, 20 years down the road, because the service which they are not really up to the customer expectation, every time customer came to the shops, they ask some question. The owner doesn't feel and show their patience to explain. He always said that you want to buy, you don't want to just leave. And kind of things are, when times pass by, the customer bad reputation and bad review will pass out. Then other customers will come, they will not buy from them. So after many years later, until today, their shops are disappeared, are no more. So I think the customers, especially the customer expectations, are different and changes from time to time. If you don't understand too much and you cannot catch the trend of the customer expectation, you might lose your own business. Secondly, that we need to build up the customer trust. How to build the customer trust? Usually, customer trust is built upon the customer service, especially the exceptional customer service. Without this one, how can build customer trust? The customer trust based on that, then if the customer trusts you, they will click the button online and say buy and pay now. So to build the customer trust is the key to make you success. And the benefit, of course, we know customer trust. First of all, they can maximize your retention rate. The exceptional customer service is not just selling the deal or order, but keep the customer coming back again. Let's just say in that to acquire a new customer, usually you take 5 times more expensive in cost than retaining an existing customer. So that's why we know if you can earn the customer trust, the customer will retain later and longer. Not only this, the benefit of customer trust, they will not only secure the order, they will long-term relationship with you. I have a case, actually it's a true case. I have a customer at the 11/11/2021. He started to buy the order from me. But last month I discovered this customer has placed order 35 times order with us. And not more than this, he also referred other 10 different customers to our shop to buy. And I consider why it's like that, because we are focused on the personalization service for him. So he trusts us and he likes to purchase from us. He also likes his friend to deal with us. Then next, we're talking about the challenges in terms of customer service during the Double 11. During the Double 11, a lot of calls coming in. You might face few challenges. First of all, you will receive high volume of inquiries. Inquiries not only by phone, but also in chat, in all different ways, in your website, your emails. So this is the challenges. And also, because of you have a limited manpower, so your response time will maybe take longer to respond to your customer inquiry. And some technical issues, sometimes your computer, shut down or jam or whatever. And sometimes of inventory and shipping issues, because we do face some of the issue like this. I remember 3-4 years ago, we have Double 11, we had 8 pallets, about 1,000 more orders and parcels. We packed, but the third-party logistics service did not show up to pick up. So we have to hold them until the 3rd day after I call Lazada's customer service to clear out, and they will call a special delivery service to pick up the parcel. So during the Double 11, the challenges might very severe in the inventory and shipping. Of course, because of the big volume of orders, you might face some returns and refunds, and sometimes you may face some stock burnout. Okay, so these kind of small hiccups, it may create, if you don't take it carefully, you might create a storm of problems. Now, since you have such changes, the exceptional customer service come out. They will add as your lifeline and safety net. They will give you a lot of help because they can provide some solution to your problems, some shipping delay, payment problem, quality issues. Later, we're going to give you some tips. What will be the standard response to this? And service during the Double 11, they can give you assurance to a customer when customer are hesitating to pay or not to pay, to buy or not to buy. So if your customer service can give an assurance voice, you will receive the orders. And of course, this obviously the good customer service, you will increase your sales result because the customer trusts you. And the customer experiences with all your customer service, generally, of course, you will grow your sales during the special event like Double 11. So we say the exceptional customers is not just a nicety, it is a necessity, especially on Double 11. Okay, so what will be the readiness for Double 11? How are you going to whipping up your service team? We have 3 areas we like to recommend you. First of all, to give you a training to your section, to your workshop, to your customer service department, to let people knows what are you going to do, what product knowledge, promotion area, and let your people knows and ready for this. This is not part of sales. This is part of customer service, because customer, before they click the order payment, they will ask a lot of questions, and your customer service department is on the position to answer, to reply them. Secondly is you have your people, customer service people, how to handle high call volume inquiries. In a very short period of time, especially just double event a day, there are thousands of calls coming in. They were asking so many questions before customer click the payment. So you have to have your customer service department prepare for it. Thirdly, you have to back up your plan for unexpected challenges. All of a sudden, your computer down. All of a sudden, your stocks out of quantities because you never counted properly. A lot of happen things. It could be happen. So now you have to prepare for it. Okay, and then post Double 11, there's a few things that I think that's a good thing for you to know to follow up. What about if the customer receives some 40 item, how are you going to reply? If the customer product inquiry, how are you going to reply? Those things. We'll show you some standard reply that we are applying. Okay, if the customer, after 11, they receive some 40 item, it might not be your fault. It might be forwarding company fault, shipping company fault. But you have to take care very carefully, because if you are going to avoid some bad review, if you don't take care of that properly, you write very bad review on you, then maybe it's not your fault. Okay, let's see. Our standard response, which is reply to the customer like this. They say, dear customer, we sincerely apologize for the damage. The party logic. However, please rest assured that we will promptly arrange an exchange with you tomorrow afternoon. Usually, tomorrow afternoon or after 2 days, we extend our apologies for any inconvenience to you. And once you give this answer and reply, the customer feel comfortable. They are waiting for that. And we also face some issues because of the shipping company issues, not our fault. So, but we reply to them. We give them some replacement. Then after that, a change as promised, and then the customer give us 5-star review, but for the shipping company they give 2-star. So I think that's standard response to you to face to the delivery. The function issue, sometimes the customer doesn't know how to use the product. Sometimes customer cannot understand the menus, how to use it. So we usually tell them, we receive the response from the customer always like that. We don't know how to use, we order this one. Then our standard response will be like this. We say we are sending to you some details, some videos, and then if anything you need, you just let us know. This is a standard reply we send to our customer. And after customer receive, they feel happy. They were waiting for our answer, and then after that they will give a good comment. Number 3, non-receiving issues. Customer always inquiry, say, I made a purchasing on Double 11, and because of the delay issue, so they did not receive it within 2 days. So they were asking the update the status order. So our standard reply is like that. Thank you for bringing it to our attention. We sincerely apologize for the delay, because Double 11 always delay delivery. We know that based on our experiences. So we don't blame anybody else, but we have to smooth our customer, let them happy. So we just tell them like this, standard reply. And then last, post-sales or follow-up greetings. Then once the customer receive, we don't know if they are happy or not. So we follow up with a short message. We tell them that we have sent you, we receive your order. And if you are happy, give us a 5-star review. If you have any anything that you feel uncomfortable, let us know. We will try to solve it. So every order we deliver, after that we follow with this message. When after the customer receives such message, they feel that we are not only ignore after we selling, but we also follow up. So customers feel very happy. They always like this. They always give us 5-star review. In conclusion, exceptional customer service, we say it is not just a department. It is a heart of your e-commerce operation. E-commerce operation, a lot of sales, but after service, it is very important. It's a heart. And customer service is not expensive. Actually, a lot of people say, hey, it's expensive to hire people to do that. No. As I said, that it's an investment to have your branding enduring. And also, we need to build up the trust so that the customer will fear us and they will stay with us for longer times. Thank you very much. This is my short sharing with you. I hope you like it.
All right. Again, thank you, Philip. Thank you, Philip, for sharing this topic. Again, he's very passionate about this topic. Again, customer service, of course, is one of the differentiator you can have in your business, because end of the day, like some like items versus items and sometimes price versus price. End of the day, some people will choose because certain stores have better customer service, not because the thing is cheaper, not really because the items even same quality, they will choose the one that has overall guarantees them the better service. Okay, better service can of course not just be in chat, of course, but just in how fast the item reach just you. Alright, I think just go to a quiz first before we go to a Q&A. Again, if you have any questions, please keep it in the comment and chat session. We will answer your questions after the quiz itself. Let's go to our first quiz question. Hey Philip, you can press once. Once. Okay. Alright. So, which are the following statements accurately reflects the importance of customer service? Alright, so is customer service always important? 1. Customer service is not important at all. 3. Only Double 11 I attend to my customer service. And 4, of course, is none of the above. Which is the one that accurately is, of course, definitely was only one answer for this. Definitely reflects the importance of customer service. That's good. I think let's immediately share the answer in the next 3 seconds. 2, 1. Let's go. What's the answer? Alright, Philip, what's the answer?
Yeah, it's always important. Customer service never and not important. It's always important, because without customer service, the customer won't trust you. They will not buy from you second time.
So of course, like end of the day, I think customer service essentially, you like today this morning I went for you did miss out, went for there was a case live stream that's been done this morning. So one of the key things they mentioned about was that, like, besides having good products, besides having authentic products, another good example is definitely having good customer service.
Yes.
And react to your, and most of the resolution is just purely because customers don't chat to you, you don't chat to them back, that they feel that neglected. So most of the reason as well can be resolved within the chat itself. Then you don't can reduce the amount of chat and returns that you have. All right, let's go to the next question. How do you believe exceptional customer service will impact your gross GMV value? So, is this a choice, or is it is it a poll? So, how do you believe? Again, completely skeptical. Again, this is more. I think you should look it for Philip's perspective. That will give you the answer. So, how do you believe exceptional customer service will impact your gross merchandise value? 1 is completely skeptical. Second is skeptical to a certain extent. 3 is I strongly believe in customer service. I think there's only one, and from Philip's perspective, that is always the number one, which is okay. Very strongly believe. Okay, I think with this, I just want to ask you one question. So you mentioned always about customer service. Where did your belief in strong customer service come from? Like, what was your first experience that a good customer service can actually help you in your e-commerce business?
Well, you have to understand your customer and feedback or respond to the customer inquiry. Sometimes customer may not be really reasonable, but sometimes unreasonable. But you understand, you communicate with them to receive their feeling, and then you try to find the answer, because there's no fixed answer for it. You always have to see the situations, but to feeling on their position. That means, in their position, understand what they want, and sometimes to understand what they think. So it might not be an answer, but they feel that you understand them, they accept you. Then, simple as that.
Okay. Now I have a quick question from the audience. It's actually a very curious question. It got a bit. I don't think there is much to do with customers, but I'll just give a generic question. So, first question is, how do you compare your 11.11 sales in previous years versus now? Because considering you have been e-commerce for so long, okay, 11.11 last time versus now, because of the COVID reopening and also because of like inflation and stuff. Do you think customers right now are buying for the sales or for their necessary needs? Okay, but it's a very long question actually.
Yeah, it depends on customers. Some customers they buy for the necessary need because they did not get involved in e-commerce before. But some customers they are hesitating because they don't want to spend extra money because the inflation in the market. So that is dependent on situation. There is no fixed answer on.
Okay, so I think how then the question is, how do you compare how do you think your this year's sales will compare against your past year's 11.11?
Well, I hope that you will exceed, but you never know because there's more and more competitors coming in, and the customer are more and more rational and more reason to buy. They will compare. Unlike last time they will be impulse to purchasing, but now they are very reasonable to compare. So it is more and more difficult for them before. So that's why we have to provide a better customer service. Is to win the customer back.
Yeah, to keep the customer loyalty.
Yeah.
So I also want to give some inputs into this question. So I think one of the key things, of course, most people will say COVID reopened is of course very different from when COVID started. Like it's very different than, and what Philippe mentioned very it's very true, is actually customers are more rational now because one, they are more people are shopping on e-commerce are more smarter right now.
Yeah.
They know how to compare prices. They need to know where to find the deals. And then nowadays people, of course, due to depend. I think when you say people are buying for the needs or people are buying for the sales, it's really because depending on the person itself, I think. But I believe most people are of course buying the things that they need, the needs first, then whatever left over then they target on their wants. But of course how much that is their earning capability, that will determine how big they can buy their wants too. I think people still buy their wants, especially during Christmas season. People still have wants and needs. The needs definitely the grocery stuff, but wants definitely during Christmas season that people start buying for their own people itself. Alright, so with that, thank you for the question. If you have any more questions for our presenters, please do continue to the chat. But again, if you would like to communicate with Philip and learn more about customer service, please do join his WhatsApp group so that he can actually talk to you share more about his insights from his his experience itself. All right, then for now I will actually I will of course allow Philip to go off screen.
Okay,
and then I will of course invite the next speaker itself. All right, this for now I will actually. Now we have actually Leon. Leon is from the Dingy Shop. He's going to talk about one very key topic, is branding. I think branding is something that is very essential. We have never, branding is, in the past we used to not have so much things about branding. Recently, these few months, I think, especially this year itself, we hear a lot more things about branding and a lot more stuff. So I know due to time constraint, because my team also have been nagging, say I probably comment too much. Okay, so I will just really let Leon introduce yourself and let's go.
Alright, so good afternoon everyone. My name is Leon. I'm from the Dinky Shop, and I guess you guys who are paying attention for the past 1 hour, you will have received a lot of information about Eric talking about the product assortment, then what's that? Adrian talking about pricing, and just now Philip talking about customer service. Actually, these are 3 very important components, right, for you to essentially have a very successful online store. I think if you can cover these 3 items, these 3 segments, right, I think more or less your 11.11 should do well, lah. But why talk about branding? Because I think branding is something that can elevate your store, your business to another level, especially if you don't want to get hit by any recessions or anything. Because what I believe that branding, which I will share in the later part, is about creating an emotional currency. Okay, so my topic, branding for e-com winning heart. Back. Okay, so before that, right, at the very start of where we wanted to start this business, right, we never wanted to just get something from China or somewhere else and then, market lower and then just sell it online. So in the very, very, very early days of before the Tinky Shop even birth, we actually called Wonder Thought. So you can see on my past Instagram, we actually built until 600 followers before we actually moved to a new Instagram. But back then, we already have that concept of trying to create a branding sort of thing. So because we were still young, me and my wife were still traveling a lot. So we actually kind of wanted to use traveling content, to become a funnel to actually sell our products that we are carrying from Korea. So if you can see from the slides, like the second row talking about the baby carriers, we actually interviewed people talking about baby carriers. So from the very beginning, we are already trying ways or thinking of how we can actually bring value or attract attention for our target customer. Okay, and of course we did our rebrand because I think because the kids getting older and older and lives get busier, so less traveling. So we kind of rebrand ourselves to become like a more of an authentic shop that actually share good Korean products that is made in Korea, and that's how we actually scale it to today lah. So today is less about me. So branding is like I said, about creating emotional currency. So if you see all these big brands as an example, I mean obviously we are not them, we don't have the resources like them, but you hardly see them doing like 50% off, add to cart, this kind of promotion. I mean, they do have call to action, but more often than not, they actually create an advertisement that can actually evoke your emotions. Right? So even Lazada, when they do the advertisement, they show the people dancing in the colorful colors, smiling joyfully. So what they wanted to say is, shopping is actually a joyful thing. They don't say, 99 cents only and all these things, right? Or even like, other competitors, they do all these music videos. So these are what I say branding awareness. So before I carry on further, right, to actionable things that you can do as a small SME, I want to share this very interesting video. So this is actually a video I saw online that says that, this poor little man sitting in the garden, right? He was actually blind. He's right, I am blind, please help. But the thing is that when people walk past, right, people actually kind of ignore him. So a lot of people walk past, a lot of people ignore him until this little girl, he kind of like sympathized with this old man. So this little girl actually picked up the board, and then this little girl helped this little old man, right, to write something. Okay, so it wasn't revealed what is it. But what happens after that is that wherever someone walk past, they will actually donate to this poor man in the garden. Okay, so this guy is really blind, it's not set up. Okay, so the poor man was like thinking, what happened after the little girl left? Okay, so then the little girl came back. And the little girl, you guys are ready to know what the little girl write? Actually, he wrote, "It's a beautiful day and I can't see it." So the previous message was, "I am blind, please help." So that kind of emotions when it gives us you is like, if you walk past I mean, you're like, okay, so, that kind of emotions. But when you rewrite, it's the same thing, it's the exact same message. Pretty much, but in different words, in different statement, it becomes like, I kind of able to sympathize you. It's a beautiful day in the garden, obviously, everyone can see it. But then you add on to the back that I cannot see, people really relates to you. And that's how branding works, okay? So branding, you can through products, for example, story, which is just now the earlier part. I am blind, please help, doesn't really narrate a story. But when you say it's a beautiful day, I can't see, actually you are actually sharing a story. So the story can be like product creation, how you actually create a product, or like the product that you're selling, how you can actually solve a problem. That can be a storytelling. So one of a very clear example is that in April this year, me and my business partner, we actually flew down into Korea to visit all our Korean supplier. And then we actually visited their factories as well. So one of the factories that we visited is a juice making factory. So we actually witness how the juice is being produced without adding sugar, additives and all these things. So when we come back and share with the mummies, right, that's the story. So the compelling part is that, mummies actually do believe instead of we just saying in the words, in the description. So we have videos and evidence to prove that, we actually went there. We witness how they is produced. So story is a very powerful component when you attach to a product. Next, you can, of course, is quality lah. So, I mean, when you have quality products, then, of course, that's the brand. Because sometimes people, you touch the quality of the product, it determines the brand direction you are in. Whether you are, you want to sell very cheap so that your cost is your cost is very low, so you get a very low quality product, or your quality product is very good so that you can actually sell higher. Quality also depends your branding. Okay, your packaging, how it actually choice of words, and then the aesthetic pleasing. So even packing. Okay, so packing, how you pack. Sometimes we are also so greedy ourselves. Sometimes customer buy too much, we just dump it into the box. So when customer receive what kind of impression are you giving up to the customer? What I mean by choice of word is like, when you, just now the I am blind, then it becomes a beautiful day. So sometimes if you have a lot of products with different color variation, instead of using the standard blue, white, black, you can follow like Apple, for example. Apple like to call, I use Apple example. Apple like to call their gray, space gray. That kind of thing, or maroon. So instead of using the red, standard, you can actually use these kind of words to kind of elevate your brand. Aesthetic pleasing. Okay, so this is a very interesting case study, because I think for us, we sell wet wipes and a lot of baby essentials. So we tend to do what we call a winter edition. So even going down to your packaging, right? How your package look determine how your brand is being impressed. So if your packaging is like those not very nice, not very beautiful, obviously you cannot mark up your price, because it doesn't justify the pricing. Because when people receive it, it's like, this kind but if you have a nice packaging, nice outlook, then of course, your brand is being perceived as a higher value. Okay, you can through promotions. Okay, through promotions. Okay, so how through promotion? This one very easy lah. I think most of the e-com sellers should have should understand this part, which is you always need to create a sense of urgency, whether is it like a sales, voucher, gifts, and all these things. Okay, limited time sales, sometimes you have to do during the peak day, the first 2 hours, that kind of thing. Okay, and then early access sales. This is a very interesting part, because I think a lot of people miss out, whereby you actually kind of create a community using early access. So like people that can add access. For example, just now I was sharing that we have a lot of we do the winter edition packaging for our products. So we actually do like a early sales for our loyal customer. So that also kind of gives you the branding or the connections for your customer. Okay. So in a way, all these things, right, when you do all these like surprise gift, loyalty programs, all these small little things are actually kind of creating emotional currency. So like bringing back to my very first slide, right, big brands, all these things, they are all about creating emotional currency. The more currency you can create, right, the more you are able to, propel as a shop. Okay? So through people, okay? First, customer review. This is pretty standard, because without customer reviews, right? Customer reviews is what I usually like to say. Reference is that people say you good is better than you say yourself good. Correct? So customer reviews, right, actually helps you, give you the authenticity of your own branding. So when people say you good, outside people see that people say you good, then you really know that you are very good. Second is relevant content. This one I preach a lot, because I'm on social media quite very often. So the more content you are able to create, right, whether is it entertainment value or educational value, or some random things lah. All these actually kind of creates what I would say relevancy to your target audience. So that also create emotional currency. Of course, user-generated content, UGC, user-generated content, whether is it paid or non-paid, it really up to your own business. But I think user-generated content is a little bit like customer review, except that sometimes when you are paying influencer or social media KOLs, you try to find someone that can resonate with your brands so that you can stay authentic. Even till today, although we can do our own content as much as we want because of the time limitation with our daily operations and all these things, we also still engage with KOLs to create all these relevant contents. And whenever you create all these contents with these KOLs, right, it depends on the KOLs you find, you kind of actually elevate your brand once again. So for example, if you are able to look for someone that is a higher perceived authority in this space, for example, like me, ours is a mommy's community ma. So if I can find a mommy influencer that most of the people actually do follow, it actually kind of elevate my brands up another higher notch. Okay. So contests and giveaways. So for through the products I share, through the promotions, right, and then through these people, right, all these contests giveaway la, last limited time sales la, all the packaging, all these things, how you pack your products, right, all these all add up to all the emotional currency that you can actually create. Especially giveaways, like giveaways, everybody want free gifts, so they will stay online, and try to engage with you. Another part is a live video. Okay, live is a very up and coming thing. Of course, you can do it on the social media. You can do it on a lot of different platforms. So all these live videos helps you to build, relationship online with your target audience. Another thing I forgot to add is offline events. So offline events also help you build the relationship. Sometimes customers buy online, they give you the good reviews and all these things, but they never see you face to face before. So you going offline, sometimes they can come over to your booth and say, hey, I always buy your products. All these things, they actually already created that emotion. So all these emotions, like what Philip actually also shared, helps you to actually retain all these customers. Okay? And the last but not least, the most important is yourself, because everything, this business you started yourself, so everything starts from yourself. So if yourself cannot do all these things, then unless you have a rich daddy or a rich mommy or a sugar dad, right, then it's very hard. Yeah, so everything starts from yourself, from how you actually source the product, how you actually do the pricing, how you actually do the customer service, and how you're going to brand yourself and position yourself. All these small little things, right, actually helps you to become a better store as we go into the last quarter of the year. Okay, so yes, coming back to quiz time. It was a quick and fast, good informative sharing.
Yes, thank you, Leon, for sharing about his business and of course some of the efforts that he's been doing to grow. I think everyone grows their business differently.
Yes, correct.
I think
yes.
Leon's you want to focus on his own self marketing and own branding himself. So we feature himself as his brand that you can see.
Yes, correct.
He himself is technically below. He's the
sometimes it's also a limitation because especially we are dealing with women. So sometimes a mommy don't want to get close to a man. Yeah. But yes.
Well, certainly.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to the quiz itself.
Okay. So the first quiz is what are the 3 P's for establishing emotional currency? Just now I shared already. With customer in an e-commerce business.
Yeah, so it's 3 P's that he presented.
3 P's,
yes.
Okay. I never mentioned, I never show but I think in the slides, if you pay attention, you should know the answer.
Once again, we'll give 1 minute each on the Seller Center itself, as well 1 on the Facebook itself. We will announce the winner at the end of the live stream itself. So 1 minute each will go with a $10 Lazada voucher that you can spend on our platform itself. Alright, I think we can actually announce the winner. The answer.
Okay. The answer is product, promotion and people through the product, through the promotions and through the people, how you can actually create a better brand or create an emotional attachment with your customer. Okay, quiz 2.
All right, go question 2.
Which person is the most important in not just creating emotion but in business? Okay, which person? This one is the very straightforward answer.
It's not multiple choice, it's just one answer.
Yes, there's only one answer. Which person? It's not your wife.
Okay, the person I think he mentioned it. I have to say because it actually just refers to one thing only.
Yeah.
And I was like, who is Leon actually referring to in this question itself? I think let's drop the answer in another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The answer is yourself, okay? So if you never do it, nobody is going to do it for you. Yeah, I mean, although your wife is as important as yourself or your spouse or your family support, but yourself is the one that is the key criteria.
All right,
okay.
So I think one key question is, I think just very quick, I think people will ask, how do you normally come up with so many different ideas in a short span of time?
So many different ideas. No, I mean,
you think there's so many pillars or content pillars, but I don't think it's still a lot.
Yeah. I mean, it's not that easy, of course. But I think one of a very good tip is the consume. You have to stay in. For example, if you want to create more content idea, you have to watch what other people create. Hopefully, from there you can get some inspirations and all this.
Yeah, so you also need to be on those chat platforms
Yes,
itself to
correct.
learn to be fast. So again, end of the day you can build branding via yourself. I think for Leo example, of course, but I think a lot of sellers, you want to go budget ways, really just build
Yes,
the branding
correct.
via yourself.
Yes.
That was in short term you may not see the benefits. In long term you definitely will see the benefits from building your brand on your own itself.
Yes.
All right. With this, of course, I'll
Okay.
thank you, Leon, for presenting. All right. So next, I'll like to invite our fifth presenter for today. The fifth presenter, which is actually Daniel. Daniel comes from tankao.sg, so he's here to actually present a topic which is regarding your sponsored discovery itself. So I think sponsored discovery is a very, very, very topic that a lot of people are interested in, because sometimes it may seem easy to use, and sometimes it may not seem as easy to use, because people say, hey, do 1, 2, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get success. But what should they be actually focusing on beside the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So Daniel will share with you today on all the aspects itself. Okay, without further ado, I'll just invite Daniel on to the screen, and then he will introduce himself and then talk about his presentation today.
Yep, thank you, Wei Lun.
Go.
Okay, hello everybody. So I'm Daniel. As Wei Lun introduced, so I'm from Tankao SG. Myself, I'm a last star trainer and a seller ambassador like the rest of the presenters today. So the topic I'm going to cover today is on elevating 1111 sales by maximizing sponsored discovery. So I think before I get into everything, I'll just do an introduction for myself first and jump straight to the topic. So just quick introduction. So in terms of my background, before we go into the topic, I've worked in a couple of e-commerce marketplaces. So I have been in the system. I have been through all the, be it internal trainings, be it internal sharings of how certain things work. So there's come some background in terms of like the understanding of things like your sponsor discovery or ads. So I've also worked at a brand. So when I work in the brand, of course, we deal with much larger budgets, and then of course the strategy differs, right? When you are a brand versus when you are running a marketplace as a regular seller, the kind of budget differs, and there also I gain a lot of experience in terms of what are the different strategies we can run when we have a larger budget versus what we can do when we don't have that kind of budget. What should we focus on? So today then I will also do some of that sharing, how I approach those topics and how we can share that to you guys as well. I myself also run a B2C e-commerce. That's the business that shared today. And last but not least, I also do help some of the brands out there to enable them to sell online. So without further ado, I want to start off by addressing some of the commonly asked or frequently asked questions that I usually see, be it on Facebook, the seller group, or even from my peers or from sellers or brands that we work with. So some of the very common questions is, number one, on auto top-up. So before I go into the whole topic, I just wanted to address auto top-up. So first things first, everyone actually you are able to see whether this auto top-up is on or not. So I think simply if you ever have that question, just go into your Lazada Sponsored Solutions page, click on top-up. There will be a pop-up that comes up, and then you can see that there is actually a little toggle there that says on or off auto top-up. So simply put, just go in there, take a look. If it's on, switch it off if you don't like that idea. If it's something that you consciously want to have on so that your ads do not run out of money, of course, switch that one, right? So I think some of the issues in the past, maybe there could be certain incentives to switch it on, or without knowing that some of you clicked OK and stuff like that. That could have happened, but today I'm just trying to tell you that you have control over that. Just go and check it out. Anyway, I think as a business owner, all of us need to have some ownership, right? In terms of, you need to see your own P&L every month. You need to know what are you paying Lazada in terms of your finance statements. So that's something that I would like to highlight as well. So if you want to prevent anything like overspending over $1,000 which some of the comments we have seen, go in there and switch that off. I think the second point I wanted to touch on is, I think this is something that even when I went to Hangzhou, and then some of the trainers or lecturers actually did share as well. So this is something that I think is not just happening in Southeast Asia. I think even in China itself, even with the kind of advancement that they have in terms of selling online, actually some of them also face the same issues. And what we see here, for example, I'm giving you an example, there's a CPC of 60 cents. Although they spend $400 over, they are getting back an ROI of 0.37 times, meaning to say they are basically paying money as well. So I think 3 quick advice before I go into everything. Reduce your complexity in campaign setup. Just do automatic kind of campaigns. You control your cost per clicks. You can set your own maximum bid prices and budget for campaigns. In this way, once you do up all these kind of, I would say, safeguards or guardrails, there's no way actually that you overspend, because you are the one who decide how much you want to spend every month. Iterate. So with that, I'm going to just quickly go through what I want to share today, and then we'll go into Q&A and questions later. So to start off, what is sponsored discovery? I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because I believe most of the people would know what this is. Basically, this is the funnel where we look at in terms of your whole conversion funnel, starting from awareness to consideration, conversion, and loyalty. And today, I think if you look at the Lazada sponsored media or sponsored solutions page, they have a suite of solutions to target each funnel. So for example, if you are a brand and you really want to grow, be a product or brand presence, you have the ability to go and bid or purchase sponsored display packages. Those are more, we are trying to get more impressions. We want to get people to see the brand. And these are investments where we are really getting visibility. You don't really look at ROI as much. But today's topic, I'm going to just focus on the second part, which is on the consideration conversion page portion, which is your sponsored discovery, broken down into sponsored search as well as sponsored products. So sponsored search is what we commonly know, which I will also share a little bit more in the next slide. And sponsored products is more on those kind of just for you complimentary products. When people scroll down your product detail page, that's where they see your products. So without further ado, let me just do a quick introduction. So where does sponsored discovery show up? I think over here, simply put, everywhere is basically almost all of the touch points that your customers will see when they scroll and browse on the Lazada page. The homepage at the bottom, just for you, that's where they see sponsored products. Product details page, when they go down under recommendation, that's also where they see sponsored products. When they search, that's where they start to see sponsored search show up. So these are all the different spaces that basically your products will show up once you spend money and invest in sponsored search. Today I will talk a little bit more about this portion on automated and manual bidding. So I think as we go into 11.11, I think some of the questions I think sellers commonly have is there's automated and there's manual. Should I do manual so that I can control what I'm spending? Or, I don't know what automated does. So in a nutshell, automated bidding just means that Lazada algorithm will learn, they automatically pair the relevant keyword to product. So what this means is that it is supposed to be somewhat efficient, right? You don't have to do much, Lazada's algorithm does the work. But where manual bidding comes in is that, end of the day, when we say AI, when we say algorithm, when we say automated, someone has to feed the system with information, and it is not completely foolproof. So especially things like when you create new SKUs, or let's say 11.11 this time around, you have exclusive bundles, or you have new products. Those items or those products may not be picked up immediately by Lazada's algorithm when you do automated bidding. Or it could be a case whereby you have set a small budget, let's say $5 daily, and the budget typically flows to maybe your better performing products. So that also results in you maybe not getting enough impressions for your new products or your exclusive bundles, which are supposed to maybe be your hero products for the 11.11 event. So in this case, this is where we come in with manual bidding to try to complement your automated campaigns to increase the visibility for these specific use cases. So some of the tips for optimal performance. So I mentioned just now automated and manual bidding. I'm not going to go deep into details, but these are all, I would say, very, very straightforward. Automated bidding, you don't really have to do much. Activate all your placements. Let Lazada's algorithm do its job. Creative optimization, let it do its job, same thing. And last thing is ensure selected products are in stock. I think this one is a common thing where people fall through the cracks. Sometimes when your product stock out and stuff like that, these are all going to affect your performance over time. Last but not least, on the manual bidding part, if you are looking at manual bidding, you need to know that you should at least have 10 to 20 products per campaign, 30 to 40 keywords per product, and then over time, look into optimizing those products when you look at the performance once this is ongoing. So when we talk about manual bidding, we'll just touch a little bit more so we understand how to use what and when. So how do you craft your keyword strategy based on the different types of objectives that you want to achieve? So over here, I put out 3 different use cases. One is the brand use case, generic use case, as well as competitor use case. So I mean, in this case, each of these different type of keyword strategy have different roles to play, have different importance. Same thing, I'm not going to go deep into details. But generally, when we look at bidding for brand keywords, this comes from, if you are a brand owner, you typically want to defend your keywords. Maybe your product is sold by many other distributors or stuff like that. You are looking at defending the brand, or competitors that try to beat your brand keywords. So this typically, you want to be the leader in your own brand keywords, whereby it's very specific. Your search volume is usually low to medium, depending on how well known the brand is. But relevancy is high, your ROAS typically will be high. I think the other two is just generic and competitor. Generic is typically what most of us as marketplace or brands, we typically will bid for. Brand building, profit generating kind of role, which is what all of us are here for. You typically want to compete in it, and these are where most search terms come in, right? For example, searching for handphone, right? Those are some things that people typically just search for. Yep, and last but not least, competitor, which is what I mentioned just now. You want to make sure that you are capturing the category audiences, and similar to brand is a low to mid kind of search volume as well. So to share quickly on the best practices to achieve share of shelves and your ROAS objective, I think these are not difficult. I think content is number one. How do you build organic search discoverability? Make sure that your title, your keywords are relevant. Of course, don't go and put weird keywords just to basically gain that kind of share of search. End of the day, if you are not relevant to what customers are searching for, your ads will suffer because you're either appearing for no good reason, people are just going to bounce, and at the end of the day, there's no conversion, right? And then your ROAS will suffer. So that's something that you want to avoid as well. I think define assortment strategy. This is something that earlier on Eric talked about. So basically, in this portion, you want to group products together based on objectives. You want to traffic drive for your new bundles. You want to drive sales for your hero products. So different assortment grouping for different keyword strategies. And last but not least, over here at the top is build your keyword strategy. So enhance your keyword list with top search keywords. There are some keywords that you know that your customers will be searching for. Those are your must-win keywords. Maybe you choose 3 to 5 of it, and then you target those keywords, and make sure that when you are doing manual bidding during these kind of big days, you want to win those keywords. I think the last 3, campaign planning, a little bit more detail for that for 11.11. But in general, you look at, I think this has also been shared by a lot of the marketing solution guru out there. You look at splitting most of your budget for teasing. You want to get people to add to cart, you want to get people to know the product, and then when the day comes, the algorithm does its work, people come back to visit your product as a result of being exposed to it earlier on. I think one more fallacy is that budget. If you run out of budget, that's the end of your campaign. You want to make sure that your budget is sufficient to ensure your campaign is always on. So during a campaign day, some of the best practice would be really to check in. Make sure that you did not limit yourself by the daily budget, and make sure that your overall budget is healthy as well. Optimization, optimize towards traffic, clicks, add to cart from teasing until the D-3, and then you optimize to sales. So these are some of the tricks later I'll also be sharing in the more graphical form for you guys to look at. I think the monitor and review I mentioned just now as well. So okay, planning for 11/11. I'll just use this graph to just share, or in a nutshell, what we do in terms of campaign phasing. So as we all know, we are working towards 11/11, but actually right before that is where you do your planning in terms of sponsor discovery. I think maybe a way to put it is that, you know, you're like preparing for a war, right? You know, before you go to war, what do? You know, you train your soldiers, you know, you prepare your weapons and stuff like that. So very similar. You need to start to plan from day one, right? You need to know what are the products you're going to bid for. You got to plan up those new bundles, set them up, and then prepare to get those items ready for the D-Day. So for example, I think in terms of Double 11's preparation, in terms of optimization, the manual way, the manual optimization, you should already know and look at your SKU keyword review. You know, prevent any keyword overlaps, you know, optimize for it and define your must-win keywords. So at this point, you should already know on 11/11 or before 11/11 keywords you want your customers to search and see your product. So that's one. I think I talked about CPC just now, cost per click flaws. You want to define your maximum bid price. What is the limit? What kind of margins do your product have, and what kind of investments can you put in per click? Is it 20 cents? Is it 30 cents? Or is it 50 cents or 60 cents for certain keywords? So this is the part where we talk about getting that set up and understanding what is your limit from the get-go. I think number 2 would be the setup portion, gathering data for better optimization. So at this point, you already have ads running. You already have your traffic campaigns running, right? So you start off with a very minimal budget. You basically can start to see the performance for your ads. Increase the bids for ads that have very strong ROAS. For example, you see 20 times, 30 times. It means that, you know, we can possibly push for stronger sales and allocate a little bit more budget to those strong performing ads. Reduce those bids for keywords with ROAS that's lower than campaign average. So these kind of campaign averages, you maybe get, we can hear it from marketing solutions sharing. For example, is it for your category, is it 8 times, is it 10 times? So these are the things that you can know in advance and then prepare for. And I think across board, I think ad credit sufficiency is the most important point. Like I said just now, sometimes your wallet run out by 12 p.m. You have the rest of the day, you don't know that your wallet is out of money. That is going to impact your sales. So these are this is one very key point that we need to take note of. And I think for the scale up to peak, same thing, is really looking at optimization only. And at the peak, which is the Double 11 day, there's nothing much more you can do. You have done your preparations. You are just looking at increasing bids for your special bundles. Do you have flash sales? If you have flash sales, do I increase? If I got keywords that are doing very well, good ROAS, people are buying, can I increase my budget for those? For those non-performing, can I decrease bids? So all these things will make sure that you are more optimized towards your spend. You're not going to overspend or anything like that because you are on top of it. So if you ask me, it actually takes quite a fair bit of effort.
Thank you, Daniel, for presenting on his part. So again, he has shared a lot in the sponsor discovery. I think sponsor discovery is it seems simple on the front end. It actually is not that simple. It's like anything that you do on other platforms or even on even bigger social media like Google, Facebook, Meta. You will notice that this is a very hard game to crack. There's a lot of hidden things that you think you know but may not know. Most people say, they just choose automatic and leave it there and they just pray for the best. Okay, and then they come back and say why $1 does not give me $1 of revenue. So I think you have to dive deeper. I think Daniel has given some very efficient tips that you can usually dive into to really see on some of the key areas you focus on, like especially ramping up to D11 itself.
Yep.
So I think just do the quiz first. 2 questions. Let's go to first quiz. So when should you start your sponsored discovery campaign phrasing for 11/11? 1 month ahead to plan, set up and iterate 1 day before 11/11 and when teasing starts. Okay, I think the plan was the answer is actually quite easy. I think Daniel actually showed it on his last slide. It's actually there's only one answer for this, and of course let's give another 10 seconds for people to actually think about it. Okay, because again you need to give the tool some time to learn. Okay,
Yep.
It's as all machine learning in wherever tech world you see, machine learning takes time. And then when machine takes time, it needs a longer time. So the answer is?
A, 1 month ahead
Okay.
plan.
Yeah, so technically, yes, I think Daniel went through that was on his last slide. They say that you need to do it at least like 21 days and above. And 21 days, like the minimal, I think. But you can do, but you start way earlier than that. Because like a lot of people actually can take your 1010 as a very good reference to start. Actually, you should start doing some testing on 1010 so you can actually optimize and use it for your 11/11 itself. So again, answer is 1 month ahead to plan and to set up to and to iterate itself. Let's go to question 2. So next one is how can you control your spend on sponsored discovery? One is set up a daily campaign budget. Next is stop using it. Last one is set it at a maximum bid price. Okay, I think it's again quite a very quite a very direct answer. I don't think you should get it wrong because I think there's only one in this situation. And of course, I just leave 10 seconds for the audience to look at the question and just choose the answers again. So how can you control your spend on sponsored discovery? Basically, you can choose more than one. Basically, but I think answer should be one of them, the optimal one. All right, Daniel, can you change?
The answer is actually two of it.
Okay, what's the one?
A and C.
Okay.
So you set up a daily campaign budget.
Uh-huh.
So that you know that one campaign maximum, maybe a day you spend $10. Then at the product level, then you have a maximum bid price, so that you know that you're not going to spend $5 per click.
Okay, so
and then two clicks, your campaign is over.
Yeah.
So these are 2 ways that you can prevent it. I think the stop using it is when you stop it, you stop your potential.
Yeah. So I think that's a quick question. So, in what kind of situations will you start to think about? Say, let's say I would like to put more money into to pushing traffic. What kind of situations would you burst your budget that you already set?
Yeah. So that's what I mentioned just now, right? When you start to run sponsored discovery, let's say you start with $10. Then you see, hey, $10, I got 20 times. I'm generating 20x ROS. Then it means that $1 you get $20 of sales. It means that maybe if you were to invest a bit more, you may get 15x or 10x, but then your sales will grow.
Okay.
So those over time, you'll be able to slowly do that, and then you will reach a comfortable space where you say, I only want to invest 10% of my sales. Then your target is 10x. Then you can slowly work towards that kind of.
So of course, I think you can of course plan with Daniel on numbers that you talk about. But I think of course really there is a lot of hidden tactic you can learn from his experience because. Daniel also actually has a lot of experience in working in tech, so he knows how tech companies work. Okay, so if you're interested to talk to Daniel and on WhatsApp, you can join his WhatsApp group over here and then ask him and touch in some of the topics that he presents. So I know some people will start to ask, hey, this deck will it be made available? Yes, we will make it available in PDF form after the live stream, but meanwhile, just do support our live stream on this page itself. Alright. And also do support our Daniel upcoming training itself on the 27th of October, which is technically 2 weeks from now. To support him on training, he will talk about how to get to level 7. The getting to 7, of course, I think if you're a new seller, you might not know it because 7 is the maximum tier you can get on Lazada itself. So how do you get to level 7 with 5 key strategies to grow? So interested, just buy the tickets. It's actually quite affordable. It's less than your restaurant meal nowadays. It's $15. You're not wrong. You can help, and this knowledge can help you for a lifetime. Alright, so I think thank you Daniel for presenting today. Of course, next I'll bring our last presenter for today. Okay, he is a very veteran and very long. He's a veteran and has always been in the e-commerce longer than me. when I entered Lazada, he's already like selling for X amount of years already, and he's very experienced, and he and this time now he makes a rare appearance in our live stream today. So again, welcome Anson. Okay, Anson, he talked about his topic, which is about sourcing. He went to Hangzhou, so he come back and talk about sourcing. So I don't know. Okay, so I'll leave it to him to present to you on introduce himself and then talk about the topic for today, which is actually about sourcing.
Hey, thank you, Willen. Thank you. Hello, hi. I'm Anson. I've been selling on Lazada for the past, I think 7 years. Should be 7 years around there. So today I'm here to share two topics with you guys, and it's about market trends and sourcing also. So recently, we've been on the trip to Hangzhou Alibaba HQ. So we learned a lot. We've seen a lot also. So my thoughts is that I should bring back some of the takeaways there and come back to share with all the sellers here lah. Okay, so let's go straight into the topic. Okay, new market trends. Okay, guys, you should be wondering. He's going to talk about what is the trending products, or what are the best selling things now in 2023. What are the best selling tools, selling things that I should sell. But actually, I'm going to talk to you about what are the trends of being a seller, and what are the trends of being a buyer and a seller are thinking in 2023. Okay, first, let's talk about selling. Okay, in 2023, the world has changed after COVID, after all the mayhem in the world that has happened. The way we sell, the way how e-commerce works is really different compared to say 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So the way how we operate our business is also different. So I'm going to touch a bit on being on Lazada and being on the seller. Second thing I'm going to talk about external trend of being a buyer. Buyer, what are on their mind now? What is their mindset? What are they thinking of when they are looking into a certain product? Okay, let's go into it. Okay, internal trend. Okay, internal trend as a seller now. Okay, remember 3 years ago or 5 years ago, being a seller is relatively easy. You register account, you go to Lazada, you sign up, then you start to list your product. Then that's it. Every day you start to wait for sales to come in, wait for people to buy your product. But now everything is different. So there are a lot of programs, a lot of tools, and a lot of enhancement in the platform that is supposed to help you. So I'm going to quickly touch on a few tools and products that now in 2023 which I believe most sellers should be able to engage or to use. Okay, we talk about sponsored solutions, cashback also. If you are a seller, you should be more or less using one or a few of the tools that's supposed to help you in your sales. FlexiCoin discount, and okay, the next one is seller free shipping. Take note of the seller free shipping. There are two types of seller free shipping. One is seller free shipping, and the other is free shipping max. Okay, so don't get mixed up. I'm going to touch on a bit on free shipping max later. Then last coin discount. There's also last life. I'm going to touch on last life later. And last life at the moment is now for last more seller. And we're going to touch on a bit on the Lazada program as well for the SPA program. Preferred seller, and of course the SSP. SSP for select group or seller. So when you get into a certain your revenue, and of course when you hit a target, then they will give you back in terms of some percentage of your sales and commission. So this is an internal trend now. So as a seller in 2023, so you should be at least engaging on 1, 2, or 3 of the tools. But not every tool is good for you. Not every program is good for you, right? So you have to decide based on your margin, based on your product also. So what works, what doesn't work. Okay. Okay, the other tool is for a seller tool is for a listing tool. So you have a store tool, you have a traffic tool, you have a listing tool as well. For the seller tools for listing part, we are talking about how you're going to enhance your listing to entice buyer to buy more of your product. Okay, we talk about store flash sales. Okay, all this you can get from your ASC or your sales center. It's all captured from there, so you can go there and explore. If you are a relatively new seller in this year, you just joined, or last year, you just joined last year, you can always go to our website, Lazada University, and all the video are there. You can learn from there as well. So I'm going to touch on some of the tools that you can use to enhance your listing. Flexi combo, add-on deals. Okay, I use a lot of flexi combo and add-on deals also. So you can actually build out your basket. From one item, you can add on more items. So buyer will have discount when they are adding on to your basket. Seller free shipping. Okay, you can set a store-wide free shipping. It's very important nowadays. Free shipping. Voucher, and you can set wholesale price as well. And of course, early bird price. And there is also one tool that recently I find it quite useful. Is a long-term discount price, where they will actually push out your product and actually you lock down your product price for a certain period of time. I believe it's for a minimum commitment of 7 days. So you guys can go into your sales center and take a look. Okay, example. This is an example which I pull out. I think which is a very successful listing by Nike and Shu Uemura. Okay, we take a look at the listing. Look at Nike. Okay, the listing itself as a buyer nowadays in 2023, I come in, right? They are very savvy. They look at your listing. Oh, what is this Nike listing showing about? Oh, I get free shipping, I get cashback. So, they are even in BMO. There is a brand mega offer. So some deals are going on. So you look at on top. No, it's a flexi combo. So it's an add-on. It's a multitude of program tools which they are adding on to their listing. So it's a lot of it entice. There's a call to action. So as a buyer, they entice the buyer to think, we should act faster now. Look at Shu Uemura also. Look at the price, discount. You look at below the price, you have this flexi coin discount also. So it's an add-on deal. So for a good listing, what I term as a good listing, you should have at least a few of the combo of the items, like example, a few tools, free shipping, cashback, shop voucher, or even flexi coin discount also. So below, Lazada will add on with the bank discount. So it's a promotion plus another promotion. So nowadays in this year, what we do is that seller platform work together to come up with promotion. It's no longer a platform will do for you, or seller you do your own promotion. No, now it's always we work hand in hand with the platform to come up with a different promotion. Okay, and external trend. Okay, I'll talk a bit about buyer. Last time we talked about maybe a few years back, buyer like to Google your product, Google the brand, and they make a buying decision based on that. But nowadays, based on Googling for the product, the specs, and the pricing, right, they're very savvy. Really, trust me, they're very savvy now. They know what promotion you have, which day you have promotion. Like for Lazada, when they know on the 15th of the month, you last more their sales. 25th of the month, there's payday sales, and of course, all the double date, the 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9. Okay, and on top of that, they know what they can stack during this promotion. Which day last more on the 15th, I can stack cashback, bonus all together. So take note. So as a seller now, what we should think and act is that we should think and act as a buyer as well. So get into their mindset. And the second thing that I want to talk about is that this year we buyer everyone holding a handphone. They will have some form of Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, all these things. So influencer marketing is very important also. So those seller which I think if you have the capacity, you have the extra maneuverability, you should look into big market. So as a research, it's almost a 15 billion industry. Like, Hangzhou, Alibaba, every seller will have a live streaming for them to do their live sales, all these things. So it's something that's catching up on and on. So Lazada, we are last live also, right? There is a module as well. So you all can go and look into it as well. Okay, number 2, I'm going to talk about sourcing. Very fast part, sourcing also. Facebook community, when we do interaction, sometimes we'll come across a lot of buyers who ask that, hey, where you guys get your products from? How do I get my products locally? So not only locally you can source your product, globally you can start to source for your own product as well. I touch a bit on our local Singapore e-commerce scene first. Okay, look at the data. Our Singapore market for e-commerce, our total GMV, right, from 2015 to 2025 is going to jump 8-fold, from 1 billion to 8 billion. So this year we should be trending, we should be doing around 6.5, 6.8 projected sales in billion USD. So we are going to move forward to I think we are going to cross 10 billion in 2025. So I come across a lot of sellers that said, oh, Singapore is so small, Singapore there's no market, Singapore there's no growth. But apparently there's still growing year after year, quarter after quarter. And I'm going to break down into some category which you guys should be interested in. Okay, you look at all the color. Okay, the very interesting thing is that if you look at fashion, the yellow part, right, fashion actually stands quite a big market in Singapore. Fashion, it includes maybe baby products as well. So I think fashion is there, electronics is there. We'll see some growth. From 2021 to 2022 is because of COVID. There is a stagnation of growth for it when 2021 to 2022. So we will see a certain decline in sales in certain category. But the projection for e-commerce growth is still there. And if you guys are in the different category, you can take a look. Electronics is doing well. FMCG is doing well as well. Beauty as well. Look at the blue part. Okay, personal healthcare, household also. Okay, sourcing. A lot of people will know. Would like to ask this question. Okay, where can I source my product? Or where can I go? Which website should I go? Okay, these are the few websites that is you all can take down and go and take a look also. From Alibaba.com, 1688.com. All these are the websites you all can go and take a look. And actually there are a lot of products. They are all B2B website, B2B. So you all can take a look. Take note of the last one, AliExpress. AliExpress is something that I add in myself. AliExpress is a B2C platform, but very interestingly, I found AliExpress to be quite responsive. The seller there, the brand there, the factory there, they are very willing to talk to the customer. They are willing to deal with you, talk to you also. So it kinds of like AliExpress is something in between Alibaba and Tmall and Taobao. So I find AliExpress is quite interesting platform also. So you guys can take a look. Very one of the more common question is that, hey, I'm very confused about Alibaba.com and 1688.com. So, hey, which one should I go for? So, if you look at 168, there's a hint. 168.com, if you look below, it says 全球最大的采购批发市场 is in Chinese. It's in Chinese. So, you guys would like more or less, you guys should know what is the difference. I'm going to break down some of the difference for you. So, Alibaba more international. Okay, they talk a lot of languages. They will employ 24 hours. They have a team there to talk to you. All your inquiries, all your RFQ, MOQ, MOD. Okay, they allow multitude of currencies. You can pay with your credit card in USD, Hong Kong dollar, Sing dollar, Malaysian. Okay, all they will accept. And the MOQ is normally lesser. The keyword MOQ is lesser for Alibaba.com. You can request lower, then the verification is very strict. Because to be a seller, later I'll touch on a bit on Alibaba.com seller. To be a seller is not easy. It's really not easy. So for 168.com, they target mostly mainland customer, but they will entertain international customer as well. Okay, generally the price is lower, really lower compared to Alibaba.com, but you have to navigate your way through in Chinese, in Mandarin also. So the mode of payment that they will take is, of course, in mostly is RMB. They speak more in Chinese. They prefer you to TT them the money, and of course they want you to use Alipay lah. Alipay is a issue because Alipay international card is quite a problem. So the difference, you can take a look later. You can go take a look at Alibaba.com and 168.com. Okay, supplier assessment. Let's say you're going to look for a product on Alibaba.com. Take a look at these three key things. These three key things that is very interesting. Okay, look at their on-time delivery. Means that when they send in a PO and a PI, right? How within 7 days, how long they're going to ship out to you? Is it a landing performance by them? How many sales have they done this year? What are the sales also? The sales volume. Okay. The second thing is this small little thing there is it a verified seller? Okay. Alibaba, they spend a lot of time and of course a lot of effort to verify each and every seller on their website. Later I'll tell you about the verified site, the small little verified thing. To be a verified seller on Alibaba, I think per year the subscription cost is 100,000 just to be a verified seller. If you are a verified pro seller, is 500,000 subscription fee. So they pay to be a seller just to be on their website to service all the customer. And the third one, when you go into the contact details, make sure when you go into the contact details, they have a proper website and they have a number for you to call them also. So make sure if it's only just by the QQ email, so I mean here means you all can do your own assessment. But these are the three key things which I think that it will make for a very reliable supplier also. Okay, when you guys are on Alibaba.com. Okay, last but not least, I'm going to talk about the roadmap when you start your business. When you want to change your pivot your business. For myself, I pivot 3 times already in my business. So more or less I'll know. You must have a first thing. What you do is that you must have a strategy before you go into sourcing. Sourcing is the third item that you should be doing. You must have a strategy. You must have a certain requirement first. Your warehouse, your staff. What are you doing before you go into sourcing? So a lot of people jump into sourcing first. Hey, sure, I'm going to look for the things I want to sell. Wrong. Wrong. It's really wrong. First thing you should do is that you have a strategy, meeting, planning before you source. Okay? Then go for a selection, shipping, PI, landing, warehouse. Then you manage your stuff on the platform. Okay? So these are the 2 things. Market trend, understand what are the seller trending things now in 2023. What is the buyer mindset also, and also some part on the sourcing. And then we touch a bit on the quiz time.
Alright, thank you, Esther. This is our last presenter for today. Thank you for sharing on some of the insights that he has reading the internal market, external market, and some of the sourcing option, especially like building a business. I think he mentioned that he actually pivoted his business a few times. So it's good. He's good. He'll be good. If you want to join his WhatsApp group later, we'll give you the WhatsApp link to join his WhatsApp group itself. So I think we just quickly jump into the quiz. This is the last quiz for today. After this, I'll just announce the winner for the quiz at the end of the session itself. Let's go for the first question. So name 3 seller tools which you can use to improve your revenue. I think Anson mentioned a few, which is a lot. Actually, a lot are there.
A lot.
So in Lazada, there's a lot of tools that you can use, but it's not necessary you must use every one of them. Okay, because end of the day, you need to choose the one that has a better performance for your store itself. Because some tools are created specifically for certain categories, some tools are created specifically for certain usage. So you need to know how to use the tool and then which is more suitable for the tool, and you don't need to put your eggs into one basket or put your eggs in every basket itself. All right. So, what is the answer?
Any 3 tools will do. Any 3 tools.
Initial answer.
Tap, 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 tap. Okay.
Initial answer. What
So this is only a few of the samples. Any tools that you draw out from the Seller Tools web ASC site can do. It can be voucher. It can be flexi combo. It can be anything. Seller flash, store flash sales will do. Any that your answer is correct.
Okay, so I think more important, I think this year we launched a few things like wholesale price, early bird price, store. I think store flash sales are rather new. So these are things that you can actually have a look at. Of course, there's of course some of them are only visible to certain sellers due to certain criteria that we need them to have. But again, those most of the tools are here. You can look at using the most common one, which is at least use your vouchers or use your free shipping, which is most prominent nowadays. Okay, next question. So name at least 3 B2B websites we can use for sourcing. So I think he mentioned quite a few B2B. I think the famous ones are the 2123, you can buy from them. But of course, right now, because I think like he mentioned, one of the key things is you need to know how to pay them. Regardless of where you get your source, you really know how to pay them.
Correct.
End of the day is like how you want to do it, doesn't matter. How you want to pay them is a separate thing. Okay, it's a very important. There's a lot of ways like you can use all the third-party paying websites, or you can use your credit cards, but of course you can charge you a percentage, upon. So you one thing again, you can use always. There's always a lot of websites out there to help you to do process your payments. So I think it's quite obvious. I think most of you probably use the same website, but let's show these websites that you can buy from. So Answer has shown a few. I think the bigger ones are both Alibaba 1688, Global Sources Made in China, all these as well as AliExpress. So AliExpress is more towards B2C, but I think like Answer mentioned, you can really have a look.
I find it very interesting.
Okay, but again, some websites are created mainly for customers outside of China, like Alibaba.com, AliExpress. Their websites are more created and more customized.
International.
Yeah, more international customers. They do that as well. Like, whereas 168 is more catered to their local customers in China. So you can see how the page is designed, the content design is definitely very different. So if you list any of these, definitely we'll pick you as a winner. But of course, I will announce the winner at the end of this session, which is shortly after this itself. Alright, so I think just one quick, since we're at the end, I think you can go to the WhatsApp link where you can join if you want to ask Anson anything about his business. He's very experienced in e-commerce. I think he's not only e-commerce for 7 years, like probably more than that. He's probably more than that. Okay, he's been way longer since probably even before Lazada was born. Okay, so but I think we'll just close off the session by saying since we are not very far from our year-end campaign, which is D11 and D12. Basic thing, what kind of mentality should seller keep during this year-end season? Like, is it going to be very busy? What kind of mentality they should retain, or should they be resilient or anything during this period of time? Or how should
I think coming towards the last 2 months of the year is very critical for online seller. Okay, we have a lot of campaign coming up for November to December. So we have the mega campaign, the Double 11 and 12/12. We have also for electronic seller, we got Black Friday, Cyber Monday. Then of course we have the 15 every month 15 the last mall sale, 25 payday sales. And towards the end, if you guys notice, towards the end is Christmas, end of December 25th. So you see a certain surge of purchase towards the third week. I think to my experience, I think 2nd to 3rd week of December, you should see some surge in your sales. So in gifting, it's a gifting season. So do stock up. Really do stock up all your products.
Manage your inventory towards the end of the year.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Once again, thank you, Anson, for
thank you, William. Thank you.
Okay, I'll just move Anson off the screen itself. Alright, so I think we come to the end of the session. Again, it's been a long 2 hours 30 minutes. Apologies for the technical issues that we have at the start of this event itself. I'll just quickly run through the event winners. So how the winners for this. So what will happen is, for people on Facebook, we will message you directly on your Facebook. If on LU, we will actually message you. We will email you directly with the email in your seller account. Okay, to be easier, because that's the only way we can contact you itself. Okay, so very simply, the winners you can see on screen for for Eric's one, you have Sashimi, Aiden, JJ Shop, Royce Publishing. Adrian's one, you have Sharon Wu, Zen, Huki, Sasami, Qian Qian. I don't know. And I've got Philip White, ATZ, you have SG Sports Shop, A Okashi. I don't know if it's wrong correctly. Sorry. Of course, and Brian, Ryan from in FB. After that, Leon side we have Bike Settlement, Daniel Tay, Wellness Grocer, Big Link. Again, we have JJ Shop, Qian Qian, Sunday JJ Shop again, and then we have JJ Shop again, and then we have Big Link Aiden. So all this we will message you directly on Facebook for those winners on Facebook. And then for those on LU, we will email you directly the code via your email address. Okay, we will send it to you via your email address. So don't worry too much about how to contact you. So once again, thank you for staying with us on last 2 hours 30 minutes. I really hope you learned something in this last 2 hours 30 minutes, which has been a very informative and educational, because a lot of information you learn here are not readily available in anywhere that you can find. And it's really e-commerce knowledge for SG sellers, So it's very important for you to learn. If you want to learn more about this, please always look back at this live stream or join the seller ambassadors on their WhatsApp group so that you can actually grow. So okay, once again, of course, if you want to actually look for more services or onboard to our new service marketplace, please scan this QR code or go to marketplace.lazada.sg, where you can find new vendors, new services to help you to grow your business on Lazada itself. Okay, I saw that we are also looking for more members. We are looking for more members to join our service marketplace to help us to grow our marketplace sellers. So last but not least, please join us on our own social medias as well as our blog page as well as Telegram, where you can keep up to date with our latest happening and latest fun content that we have on social medias itself. So very importantly, all this stuff that you see over here, you can definitely join us on our social media. It's also available on our on the bottom banner itself. So last but not least, okay, we'd like to hear from you. We'll just leave this page on for 30 seconds. Again, I know this we would like to bring some content back to you, but of course we also know if you like to hear this content. So please do help us fill this QR code on if you're online with us, please, and thank you. It will help us a lot in terms of planning and future topics that you want to hear, and allow us to improve further using the channels that we have available to us to help you in Lazada to grow. And once again, thank you our presenters, with Eric, Adrian, Philip, Leon, Daniel, as well as Anson, who actually took the time off actually to come here to present to you, and then of course to grow, to share their insight with you, which you could never get it anywhere for e-commerce education itself. All right, thank you very much, and then hope you have a great time and hope you have a great weekend ahead, and we'll see you in our next Double 11 sale.